All right, today I want to weigh in on the Battlefield 7 leaks. I want to talk about Battlefield Season 4, which just came out the other day, give you guys my thoughts on what I'm seeing over there and what I'm seeing for the future of 2042. If you guys end up liking the video, leave a like on it, a dislike if you didn't. My name is Big Fry. Let's get into it. So let's start off with Season 4 because that's concrete, it's out, we've played it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a pretty good time. It's called 11th Hour. It brings a new map called Flashpoint, a new specialist called Blasco, and some new weapons. We got the Super 500 shotgun, the RM68 assault rifle, the AC9 SMG, and a new LMG called the RPT-31. And of course, we get a new battle pass. Woo! Right off the hop, I gotta say, I'm having fun playing 2042, and the new update I think is decent, although I feel it's a little bit weaker than previous seasons in the past. Let's talk about it. As I'm running around in Flashpoint, I feel like I've seen it all before. Like when Exposure came out, it was a unique map with verticality, lush grasses, we had cliff sides and rocks and dirt, and it was such a unique experience. Spearhead came out, lush grass, large technical interior buildings. They both had identities, and when those maps came on, like you knew you were in for a good round. They were much better than the launch maps. Flashpoint is fun, and again, I think Flashpoint is better than the launch maps. That's not a huge bar to jump over, but it is better. But it also feels like it's been built with all of the assets that we have already seen before. It feels like if you were to take Renewal, Orbital, and Exposure, and they had like this weird three-parent baby, I can't shake the feeling that we're on the sunsetting stage of 2042, or at the very least, I feel like this season kind of confirms that a small team is working on the post-launch content. It just kind of feels like they rang it in a little bit. It's still fun, it's still better than the launch, but nowhere near as impactful as seasons past. The new Recon operator, again, I don't use Recon at all. I mainly use support so I can revive at full health, and then I use Irish for the deployable shields, but Blasco has a signal jammer device, as well as what they're calling Ambush Expert, meaning she can't be spotted with motion-based gadgets. Cool, I don't really see a lot of people using her, at least in my experience, but it is what it is. I feel like the game is in a good spot, but at the same time, I want to talk about the future. We got a leak from 4chan, which was allegedly posted by a DICE EA Stockholm former employee. Apparently they were fired and they're not happy, so they went on a little bit of a leak spree. Allegedly, with a grain of salt as small as you can possibly humanly see, Battlefield 7 is targeting fall of 2024 and 2025, one of the two, which I could actually see. It's apparently going to be next gen only on a new engine. Curious to see what that new engine is. That seems a little ambitious considering they're just kind of getting off of the coattails of 2042. We'll see what happens. Apparently a beta is going to be in the summer of 2024 with a reveal this year at EA Play. They're saying that 2042 support is going to end at the end of this year. And apparently Battlefield 7 is set in 2020 or 2030, somewhere between there. So it's a modern shooter. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this post here because there's some cause for concern, to say the least. They're saying that specialists are returning with a classic mode available in custom games. I'm gonna take it point by point. Again, grain of salt. If DICE doubles down on specialists, the shitstorm that they will receive is going to be astronomical. And this isn't like, it's not like me like, I'm in a rage. I actually think the internet will fucking destroy them. That's just my opinion. Specialists were the worst thing about 2042, and they still are. And that's the reason why you guys keep struggling to bring people back into the fold. The game is not a Battlefield game in its true, like, core form. Am I having fun playing it? Absolutely. Is it an FPS that has definitely gone better after launch? Absolutely. But to compare it to the likes of Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, fuck, even Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, you just can't. And they should know this by now. According to this post, they don't. A campaign, which we know is being made. We know it's being helmed by a new studio with Marcus Leto, who was the original writer for Halo, I believe. The campaign is a direct follow-up to Final Stand, focused on stopping Russia from forming the Pack, with Wrecker returning as the playable character. There's a big focus on huge set pieces and an emotional backbone, and I have to say, after playing the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, I just went back recently and played Killzone 2's campaign. I want a Battlefield campaign again. I want a storyline. I want potential co-op to be in that campaign. And I think making stories like this with that emotional backbone, with a modern vibe, that's welcomed to me at this point. That actually sounds really dope. Low, now we're high. Let's go back low again because multiplayer, according to this post, is bringing 128 players. Okay. Metro is coming at launch with 7 planned maps with a big destruction event on each, and according to this, a destructible city is planned. Yay! Metro, 128 players, fun, yeah, that worked out so well for 2042, yeah, fun. Gun customization is pretty much a carbon copy of Gunsmith. For me, I welcome that as long as the attachments actually do what they say they're going to do, and not like Gunsmith where pretty much half the attachments are just fucking bullshit. Actually make it impact the gun that you're using, and you got a winner. Skill-based matchmaking is being considered and prototyped, and a server browser is only for custom games. Don't do skill-based matchmaking, although I will understand if they do it. It's apparently becoming industry standard. I fucking hate it. It ruined Modern Warfare 2. And here's the thing, it's not that I don't like skill-based matchmaking. Modern Warfare is just tuned so terribly that if you do good in like 1 or 2 games, you just get royally ass fucked the next 5 or 6. If you could tune it better to make it seem like, you know, you're getting better. Okay, now they're putting you against players who are a little bit better than the ones previous, and you can see your skill kind of crawling up as the night goes on, instead of cranking it to 100 as soon as you do, you know, kills above death in a game. They're like, oh, you're an optic now. You're going to be playing against FaZe Clan in the next game. It's terrible. It goes on to say Battle Royale is being developed by Ripple Effect, and apparently it's going to be free to play. Biggest map in Battlefield history, roughly double the size of Verdansk. Yay, fun. Bigger maps with a mid game that's just so terribly boring. I can't wait to play that more. That's going to be fun. They're saying helis and tanks are gained through contracts and drop in by air with a big focus on classes. Set in Moscow, your goal is to eliminate all other operators or extract early and return to the next match with better loot. So it kind of sounds like a weird amalgamation of Battle Royale and DMZ set in a map that is bigger than Verdansk. Honestly, man, I don't really give a shit about the Battle Royale. I'm going to say this. If DICE wants to double down on 2 of the biggest problem points that was 2042, and I'm not even talking about the performance and the god-awful netcode, I'm talking about specialists, and I'm talking about 128 players, things need to change. If you want to drop 128 players into a map, you need to rework how your game modes work. Breakthrough and Conquest don't work on the maps that were given with 128 players. So when I hear it right off the bat, my alarm bells are ringing. I don't trust DICE to be able to pull that off. I really just don't, and nor should you or anybody else. Even if we're enjoying 2042, we can't keep making the same mistakes. Am I open to hearing out how they're going to take what they've learned from 2042 and apply it to future titles? Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Battlefield 2042, the specialist system, is one of the worst things that they have ever done to this franchise. And if they want to double down, this feels more like a development team that thinks they know better than the consumers that are out here actively playing the game every single day. And I really hope that they learned their lesson, and I hope that that part of this leak isn't true. Nobody that is a Battlefield fan to their core who have played more than 1 game would tell you that specialists work. If you really want to sell skins and cosmetics for specialists, hear me out. Allow me to customize my assault class. Allow me to customize my medic, my engineer, and my recon. And if you have cosmetics that can be both unlocked and then the exclusive ones purchased on the store, allow me to customize the helmet, the sunglasses, the earpiece, the top, the bottom, the gloves, the weapon skins. Allow me to customize everything separately, especially if you want to go this no-pat route. You guys missed the mark on this one completely, and I really hope you guys don't do it again. Normally I script these videos. This has been kind of more of a tangent, more of a rant, because I feel like DICE, if this is to be believed as true, is going down a bad route, thinking they know better than the community before it, especially after all of the PR talk about how we're listening to feedback and asking questions on Twitter, engaging people's responses and all of those things, to then fall back and double down on 2 of the biggest complaint and problem points of 2042. Just, it doesn't seem real. So again, take that leak with a grain of salt. I really hope that DICE can pull something out of their ass and make the next Battlefield title an absolute banger. If they go this route, they won't, which is why I can't believe it. I can't believe it in my core soul as a Battlefield fan. I just can't believe they're gonna make those same mistakes. As always, I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. My name is Big Fry. Shout out to the 308,000 subscribers on this channel, and I'll see you on the next one.